Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful young girl named Omar. Omar lived with her father Mbaka and her stepmother Ako in a village called Wanfo. Omar had lost her mother a few months after she was born, so her father had to take another wife. Omar's stepmother Ako had two daughters for Omar's father Mbaka. Omar's father is hardly at home because he is a farmer and a hunter. He farms during the day and hunts during the night. Omar's stepmother Ako often maltreats Omar because she was very beautiful and they knew that Omar has a bright destiny. Omar's father never cared about how Ako treated Omar. Omar is a very beautiful young girl who looked so much like her mother. Omar was so pretty that everybody liked her. Because of how Ako treats Omar, Omar became a tough and strong girl. Anybody who looks for her trouble, she beats them up. But she never challenged her stepmother, Ako. Omar was strong that she could beat up two men at once, but she didn't look like it. You won't know she's strong until you look for her trouble, because she looks so beautiful and young. Omar's stepmother, Ako, treated her so badly. She often accused her of stealing, which was all lies. She always beat her up for no reason, and Omar never fought back. Sometimes she gave Omar jobs that were too much for her alone to handle, but she did them without challenging her stepmother. Omar's stepmother, Ako, for no reason has just been looking for a way to destroy Omar's future because she has a bright future. As Omar grew older, she became tired of the situation, but she didn't know what to do. One evening, the day was already dark and the moon was out. Ako sent Omar to buy something for her in a faraway area in the village. That evening, Omar was walking on a lonely and quiet road, and one man wearing a mask came out in front of her. She stopped. She is usually not scared, but this time she became scared. She turned her back and she saw another masked man behind her. She wanted to run, but they grabbed her and started beating her. They wanted to rape her, but somehow she took away her fears and she managed to overpower them, and she beat them up. One of them ran away, but she held the other one. She beat him up so much and he started to confess. And Omar asked him, "Why did you attack me? Why do you want to rape me?" And the man answered, "Please, have mercy on me. It is Ako, your stepmother, that sent us." It appeared that Ako had sent them to rape her and get her pregnant so that her future would be destroyed. So Omar stopped beating the man and let him go. At this time, Omar was fed up and decided that she was going to leave the house, but she had nowhere to go. Now at this time, Omar's village Wanfo is facing an attack from the neighboring village called Umoko. Umoko is a village ruled by a king called King Ago. King Ago is known for fighting and defeating other villages and taking their lands. At this time, Umoko village has started fighting Wanfo village, trying to take their lands. The morning after Omar was attacked, the king of Wanfo village sent out the town crier to announce to the entire village that the village is under attack and that the king wants volunteer fighters who will join the king's warriors to defend their community, both male and female, and that there will be 2 weeks training, and afterwards all warriors will move into the village boundaries to defend their village. And he also further said that anybody who volunteers, the person will be greatly rewarded and their family will be taken care of. Many men volunteered, knowing that if they don't come out, they will be defeated and their farmlands will be taken from them. So Omar decided to join the king's warriors so that she could leave the house. That morning, she left the house and went to the palace, but she didn't tell anybody what had happened to her the previous day. At noon on that same day, the king gathered all the volunteers and began to speak to them. The king, King Ojukwu, saw Omar and called her to the front and said, "Young girl, are you sure you want to join the warriors?" Omar answered, "Yes, my king, I am strong. I can do it." The king was marveled because she looked so young and beautiful. Immediately after the king finished talking to them, the training began. 2 weeks after the training, they were all set for the battle, and the chief priest of the village blessed them and sent them into the forest, with the old warriors leading the way. They got into the forest and they positioned themselves by the boundaries between them and other villages. Now the evening was come, and the warriors of Umuoku village began to attack, because they usually attack those that come for evening farming. Now the battle began. They fought all night till the breaking of the day. Nwafo village defeated the village of Umuoku. Now the morning came, and most of the Umuoku village warriors were killed, and the few remains that were injured managed to run away. So Nwafo village warriors were carrying their injured ones so that they can go back home for treatment. Then Omar saw a young handsome warrior of Umuoku village laying lifeless on the ground. His name is Eze. He was not dead, but badly injured. He began to beg Omar with a very low voice, "Please, don't kill me. Please save my life. I'm dying. I didn't want to be here, but my father forced me. Please help me." Omar knew that he's an enemy and wanted to leave him, but she couldn't leave him, for she was compassionate. So she secretly carried Eze into Nwafo village and hid him somewhere at the outskirts of the village. They both stayed there together, and she began to treat him. So because the king had promised to reward and take care of all the volunteers, Omar will usually go to the palace and take food so that she and Eze will have something to eat. Eze began to get better. Sometimes Omar would take Eze for a walk so he could recover quickly. As days go by, Omar and Eze began to fall in love with each other. They often looked at each other's eyes and smiled. They both felt like they found a home. Omar felt safe with Eze, and so did Eze. They both never had this kind of peaceful life. Eze so fell in love with Omar that he didn't want to go back to his village. One day, a warrior of Omar's village saw them both walking on the road. He saw Eze and recognized him. He knew that Eze was a warrior of Umuoku village because he saw him fighting against them during the battle. The warrior quickly rushed to the king and told the king what he had seen. And the king got angry. King Ojukwu was so angry that Omar brought in an enemy into his kingdom. And immediately the king ordered warriors to go and get them both so that they would face punishment. The warriors got to where Omar and Eze were living and discovered that they had run away. Omar knew what had happened, and she ran into the forest with Eze. The warriors went back to the king and told him they couldn't find them. But the king ordered the warriors to search everywhere and bring them to him, whether dead or alive. But still, the warriors couldn't find them. Now Omar and Eze were in the forest, and they didn't know what to do. The only option left was for Eze to take Omar to his village, which is Umuoku village. So Eze had to reveal his true identity, which he had hid from Omar. Eze is the crown prince of Umuoku village, but he never liked the fact that his father is wicked. His father fights other villages and takes their lands for himself. Eze told his father to stop fighting and taking their lands, but the father refused. Eze's father forced him to go to battle with the warriors so that he will be strong and become a man. When Omar saved Eze, Eze didn't want to go back to his village. He wanted to just remove himself from that life. That is why he didn't tell Omar that he is a prince. So Eze told Omar everything and begged her for forgiveness. Omar said, "So why didn't you tell me all this while?" Eze replied, "I'm sorry. I didn't want you to reject me, and also I didn't want to go back to my place." So Omar forgave Eze, and Eze took Omar to his village, knowing that they will accept her if they knew she saved his life. So Eze and Omar went into the village. Now, since that time of the battle, Umuoku village had been in great sorrow because they lost a battle. Not only did they lose a battle, they lost their prince, the heir to the throne. Everybody blames the king for what had happened. The king regrets his actions and has been sad since the death of his son. So that night, Omar and Eze slept in the forest, and in the morning, they went into their village. And the king, King Ago, from afar saw his supposed dead son and a lady walking towards him and was greatly surprised. He embraced his son and he was so excited that his son is alive. All his pains and sorrows left him. So the prince introduced Omar to the king and said, "Father, this is Omar. I was almost dead, but she took me and saved my life. She is from Nwafo village." The king was shocked to hear that she was from Nwafo village. The king welcomed Omar and she was treated well. Now all the elders of Umuoku village had gathered, so the prince began to speak to the king and the elders, saying, "The warriors of Nwafo village has multiplied, and they have become very great, and soon enough they will come and attack us. And you know we have lost most of our men. The only way out of this is to go and apologize and make peace with them. Nwafo village has been a peaceful village until this war. I believe they will make peace with us." All the elders and the king agreed with the prince. So the next day, King Ago sent some elders and some warriors to Nwafo village to beg and to make peace. They went with Omar and Eze. They got to Nwafo village. King Ojuku of Nwafo village, being a peaceful king, accepted their apology and made peace with Umuoku village. The king also forgave Omar and didn't punish her anymore. The two villages lived in peace and harmony forever. Eze and Omar got married and lived together in Umuoku Palace.